Hello dear students, so today we are going to start with the next topic in coordination chemistry, that is writing the name of a complex. Last time we have discussed about how to write the formula of a complex. Now we will discuss the rules one by one for writing the name of a complex. Okay, so starting with the first rule, you have to remember all the rules. For coordination compounds that are ionic, that is, coordination sphere serve either as cation or it may serve as anion, right? The cation is named first. So the rule says that in case of that coordination complex containing cations and anions, the cation is named first and separated by a space from the anion. So there will be space between cation and anion, and we will prefer first cations. Okay. The first example is K4FeCN6. So this is a coordination compound, and in this case cation is potassium, and this within square bracket that we call as coordination complex, it will be anionic. So there will be anionic complex and cationic simple ion, right? So how to write? So now what is its name? It will be called as potassium. Now while writing the nomenclature, do remember that in general we write every letter in small case. So I'm going to write it as potassium because this is cation, so then I have to leave some space before we start with anion. So potassium, then leaving some space, it will be hexa cyano and then ferrate. Hexacyanoferrate, and then we will write the oxidation state of the complex. That comes out to be 2, so it will be written in Roman 2. Okay. So the name of the compound, it is potassium hexacyanoferrate. Now why I have written this ferrate, we will discuss it later on. But now this is the compound. So the first rule says that we have to separate whatever is the cation and then separate it from anion. Okay, so it will be potassium hexacyanoferrate 2. In this case they have written capital, so but the actual rule says that it should be small, but both are counted. Okay, now in this case cation was potassium, anion was this cyanoferrate, and potassium, after writing this potassium we have to leave some space, then hexacyanoferrate. Rest part has to be in continuation. Okay, so these are the main rules. First rule. Now take another example. So can you try this? It is CONH36 and Cl3. So first of all we have to predict that which species is cation and which species is anion. So in this case complex ion is cation, so it's a cationic complex, and it is anion will be chloride, negative ion. So we will first write this complex, and how it is written. So it will be hexamine and then central metal atom, that is cobalt, in continuation, and then oxidation state which comes out to be 3. How it comes, let us see, and then some space is left, and then chloride. This is the name of the complex: hexamine, cobalt 3 and chloride, right? Hexamine, cobalt 3, chloride, and in this case cation and anions, as you can see, and we have to leave the space between this. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Now the second rule, while naming the coordination sphere, now we will focus how to name coordination sphere, that is whatever is given within square brackets. containing metal and ligands. While naming the coordination sphere, ligands are named first, okay, followed by the name of the central atom or ion with its oxidation state in Roman numerals in parentheses. So this is the rule 2, right? How to write how to name coordination sphere, right? Then you have to remember that irrespective of the charge on the ligands, they are named in alphabetical order. So this is the main thing. Alphabetical order has to be selected while naming, or while if we have more than one type of ligands, so their alphabetical order will be followed. Now let us take this example. It is within square bracket platinum NH3 2 times and Cl4. So this is neutral complex, right? Now first of all, distinction between central atom and ligands. So I think you are aware about this, that platinum will be the central metal atom, right? Whereas amine and chlorido, these will be ligands. And this is an example of heteroleptic complex, right? This we have already done. Our main focus is how to name this complex. So the rule says that first we will name the ligands, and if there is more than one ligand or different ligands are there, so then alphabetical order. So let us name this. This is amine, so it starts with A, and this one is chlorido, it starts with C. So alphabetically A comes first, then C. So we will follow, or we will write this. How many? What's the number? It's 2. So the name starts with diamine, and then it will be chlorine 4 times, so tetra chlorido, and then platinum oxidation state will be 4, platinum 4. Okay, so this will be the name of the species. Okay, now the name will be diamine tetrachlorido platinum 4. In this case, again you have to remember that there is no counter ion. It's neutral complex. So there is no need to write or leave the space for counter ion. Now we will discuss the rules for writing the name of a ligand. Anionic ligands are given names that end in the letter O. For example, chlorido, sulfato, nitrato. So do remember that the anionic ligand, its name will end when it is acting as ligand, only then, right? When the name of the free uncoordinated ion, it will end in ate, sulfate, right? The name of the ligand is changed to end in ato, sulfato. For example, ATE was there, sulfate was there, nitrate was there. Just E will be removed by O. Clear? So you have to remember this when they are acting as ligands, right? The examples are given. The first one is acetate. Its name is acetate, but when it acts as ligand, it is within the coordination sphere, so we will name it as acetato. For sulfate is there, sulfato. Cyanate, thiocyanate, so it will be thiocyanato. In the same manner, carbonate, it will be written as carbonato. So again you have to learn these. Then in the same manner, for fluoride, IDE now, fluoride, so it will be fluorido, IDO, chloride, chlorido, bromide, bromido, iodide, iodido, nitride, nitrido, azide, azido, amide, amido, azide, azido. So the name of the negative ligand must end in O. This is the main point, right? Then there are certain neutral ligands. So neutral ligands are given the same name, okay, as the uncoordinated molecule. For example, pyridine, so pyridine, then nitrogen, dinitrogen, oxygen, dioxygen, C6H5 triphenyl phosphine. There are some neutral ligands and they are given some special names. So for example, water, H2O, whenever water will be there, H2O will be acting as ligand, its name will be written as aqua. In the same manner, for NH3 we have discussed, it's amine, AMMINE. Nitrosyl, NO, and CO will be carbon. Okay. Then in case there are some positive ligands, so they will be named without any change. For example, nitronium, NO2 positive, it will be written as nitronium, and then hydrazinium and nitrosonium. So these all things you have to remember, right? Now if several ligands of the same type are attached to the central metal atom, this we have discussed, then their number is indicated by the prefixes di, tri, tetra, penta, etc. Right, as we have used already in these prefixes. For example, now you can practice the name of this species. So what will be the name? First of all, predict whether it's a cationic complex or anionic complex. So it's a cationic complex because it is written to the left hand side, and then bromide is the anion, right? So the name. So select the coordination sphere. This is coordination sphere, coordination entity, and then it is heteroleptic. That is 3 types of ligands are there. This is amine, this is aqua, now AM, and it is AQ, and it is chlorido. So alphabetically amine comes first, so we will write how many times now? The prefixes, that is 3 times. So we will write triamine, then water only 1 time, so we will write aqua, and then 2 times chlorine, it will be dichlorido, right? The name should end in O, chlorido, and then cobalt, then its oxidation state. So its oxidation state will be 2 + 1, 3. So 3, and then leaving some space and bromide. Again, do remember that we are using the letters in small caps. Okay, all the letters. And coordination complex, it should be in continuation only, just we have to separate, we have to give the space between the cations and anions, right? I think this is clear to you now. Here's the name of the complex, triamine. So prefixes di, tri was used, triamine, then aqua, water, dichlorido, cobalt, and 3, and then leaving some space, bromide. Okay. If the name of the ligand in question already includes a numerical prefix, then the prefixes like bis, tris, tetrakis, and pentakis are used. For example, ethane 1,2 diamine, right? This is represented, it is abbreviated as EN. So ethane 1,2 diamine is there. So this di term is already within the name of that species, and its formula is CH2 NH2 CH2 NH2, right? So this di term is already used within this complex or didentate ligand. So then if its number is more than 1, so then we will use bis for this. We will not use di, tri, tetra term. Is it clear? So for 3 we will use tris, for 4 we will use tetrakis, for 5 we will use pentakis. So this rule has to be remembered. Okay. Now let us take an example. If the complex is this, it is ruthenium and chlorine or chloride and triphenyl phosphine. Now this is a complex. It contains Ditritetra term within itself, triphenyl. So we will use for this, the prefix used will be tris, right? And the name of the complex will be tris triphenyl phosphine. Sometimes brackets might be there, bracket can be used. Triphenyl phosphine, then trichlorido ruthenium, and oxidation state will be 3. So this will be the name, tris triphenyl phosphine trichlorido ruthenium 3. This tris term, the focus should be on tris. Now this is the name, tris triphenyl phosphine trichlorido ruthenium 3. Next, when the coordination entity is either neutral or cationic, the usual name of the metal is used. It will not change. Okay. For example, let us take, in this case, cobalt, amine and chloride is there. So we will write it as amine trichlorido and then cobalt, and it will be 3. So the name of the central atom will be written simple, cobalt. In the same manner for this species, tetra aqua dichlorido chromium 3, and then some space and then chloride. This will be the name. In this case, the name of the central atom is simple chromium. Okay. In these complexes, cobalt, simple cobalt is used and chromium is used. Okay. Next, the coordination entity. If the coordination entity is an anion, right? This was for cation and neutral. The name of the metal ends with the suffix 8. This is important. The name of the central atom will end it at 8, as in this case it was normal. Now in this case, the example, the name of the complex will be sodium because it is counterion. Then we will leave some space. Then anion is complex. So it will be triamine trichlorido platinate. Now the name of this platinum, it ends in 8 and oxidation state will be 2. This will be the name of the complex. So the focus is on that the central atom, because this is an ionic complex, so the name of the central atom will end in ATE. It's given sodium triamine trichlorido platinate, ATE. Right? I hope it is clear to you. Another example, or the species where their names they changes. For iron, we will use ferrate. These are the names which are given, Latin names for some of the species. For copper, it will be cuprate. For silver, it will be argentate. And for gold, it will be aurate. Whenever the complex, they are present in an ionic complex, so their name will be changed or they will be written like this, right? For example, now it's K2CuCl4. So the name of this complex will be, first of all, we will write potassium. Then it will be tetra, leaving some space, tetrachlorido, and it will be cuprate. because the complex is negative and oxidation state will be 2. This is the name of the complex. In the same manner, for this complex, it will be sodium, then some space is left, then dicyanoarginate, and its oxidation state will be 1. So arginatate and cuprate, the focus is on this, right? The names are given. So focus on this point that cuprate term is used, and for silver it is arginatate term is used, right? These were the rules for nomenclature. I hope you will remember these, and now you have to practice certain complexes and their name. Okay.